Welcome to Marketplace Finds, where we show off some crazy and interesting cars for sale, judge what we think of the price, then order it in our tier list. Every once in a while, Marketplace hands us something so confusing, it feels less like a vehicle and more like a cry for help. I genuinely don't know what I'm looking at here, and the video with the seller climbing in wearing a gas mask and what looks like a discount superhero outfit does absolutely nothing to clarify things. The body is raw aluminum with a few extremely optimistic windows that look like they'd implode the moment you somehow convince this thing to see 60 miles per hour. And just when you think it can't get stranger, it turns out the front half is a 1985 C4 Corvette, which has been welded onto the rear frame of a 2001 Kawasaki Concord. If you're thinking, surely it at least runs, think again. There's no engine and no transmission, so whatever drivetrain you're imagining squeezing in here is now your problem. Despite all that, they're still asking $5,000 for whatever this thing is. It definitely has some potential in there. Next up is a 1991 Mazda RX7, and calling it rough would be generous. Whatever life it had before is long gone, and pretty much all that is left is a sad shell. But let's talk about the sales team, because that's where this listing really shines. We've got Batman and Robin, both looking slightly scuffed, slightly tired, and absolutely committed to selling you this disaster throughout the photos. We even get a video of popping the hood.
Hey yo, what's real? On the ground with blood spilled. The dirt ain't even dry, it's mud still. The truth is a buzzkill.
You're greeted by Robin sitting in the engine bay, where a once beautiful 13B sat, now replaced by a man in tights. All in all, they want $500 for it, which, let's be real, there isn't much left except for maybe a few rust cuts. Yes, this is a homemade 6x6 Armada, apparently achieved through a lot of fabrication work, which is Facebook Marketplace code for don't ask for the receipts. The proportions are incredible. It looks like someone dragged the rear of the truck in Microsoft Paint and somehow still thought it would look great. The extension is finished in this weird, mismatched black paint that doesn't even try to blend in. I can't even begin to imagine what's going on underneath there. Booger welded frame extensions, prayers, maybe some structural optimism, but whatever it is, it's definitely questionable. Inside, things somehow swing the other direction with brand new upholstery throughout. It's clean enough to almost make you forget about the monstrosity out back. And then there's the price at $9,800, which doesn't sound too terrible until you find out the transmission is currently protesting the build, and the back two wheels will probably rust off in the next couple of years. I don't know what was going on in the 60s that convinced so many people to turn perfectly good Volkswagens into kit cars, but because of that era, we're left with stuff like this. This one has a 1968 Invader GT kit, and like about 99% of kit cars, the proportions are optimistic. The body clearly wants to look exotic, but the panel gaps, aging fiberglass, and overall roughness make it obvious this thing has spent far more time being almost finished than actually driven. Inside, it's exactly what you'd expect from a project that's been sitting for years, with seats that don't even look real, different colored carpets that fails to hide the rusty floor, and some random Amazon boxes. Either way, it's only $2,500, so it will probably be the most expensive headache you'll ever have. This is a 1988 Pierce Lance fire truck that's been converted into a full-blown Philadelphia sports tailgate machine because apparently a normal pickup with the cooler just wasn't committed enough to the cause. It's wrapped in all 4 Philly teams, which means no matter what season it is, someone nearby is ready to yell at a referee. The hoses and ladders have been replaced with 2 beer taps, a grill, a full bar, dual satellite TVs, and a sound system loud enough to announce kickoff to the next suburb over. This thing doesn't fight fires anymore, it fights sobriety and traffic flow. The truly unhinged detail is that you don't need a CDL to drive it, so legally anyone with a standard license can roll up in a full-size fire engine, crack a beer, and start a tailgate that blocks half the street like it's tradition. The price is $20,000, and honestly that's cheaper than season tickets, therapy, and bail combined. Next up we have the Nut Wagon, and no, that's not some nickname for your mother. This is a very real, very proud 1974 Cushman Vanster. It's painted in this aggressively cheerful turquoise with rainbow stripes and rainbow nut butter plastered all over it, which means wherever this thing goes, subtlety absolutely does not follow. Underneath the branding, it's pure Cushman energy. It runs, it drives, and it'll do 35 miles per hour, which is impressive considering it sounds exactly like a ride on mower. There's no tidal, no brake lights, and only front brakes. But don't worry, the seller says it stops great. At the $3,500 asking price, let's be real, who doesn't want to own the Nut Wagon? You know all those sneakerheads who won't shut up about their collection? This is how you shut them up by driving an actual giant shoe. It was once a 1993 Jetta, but as you can see, it's been converted into a giant rolling Converse, complete with laces, stitching, and enough branding to make a marketing department cry tears of joy. Not going to lie though, the video showing it off makes me think this thing will fold over the first time it hits a crosswind at 60 miles per hour. They want $12,000 for it, which is insane, but hey, I'm sure it probably gets more attention than any supercar ever will. This started life as a 2008 Cushman truckster, and somehow ended up as a 1959 Cadillac, which sounds like a terrible idea until you look at it and realize it actually works way better than it has any right to. It's basically a shrink ray experiment that didn't go wrong. You've got the full 1959 Cadillac treatment, the fins, the long nose, the low stance, all scaled down, yet miraculously avoiding the usual Fisher-Price proportions that completely ruin builds like this. That alone is impressive, because this is exactly where most people mess it up. No, it's not going to win any races, it's still a Cushman underneath, but that's missing the point. This thing exists purely to look cool, and it absolutely nails that job. At $10,000, it sounds unhinged on paper, but it's also perfect for someone who refuses to be seen in an electric golf cart and wants something with actual personality instead. This might look like just another beat up Chevy Astro at first glance, but don't be fooled, this thing is high art, a true one-of-one masterpiece, featuring a hand-painted waterboy mural that's rough, unrefined, and, annoyingly, still better than anything I could ever paint. And here's the best part, unpictured, this van doesn't even have a roof, not a sunroof, not a convertible, it's just gone, which honestly ties the whole piece together. Somehow, it's still alive with 180,000 miles, and according to the seller, it was one of the only vans in the parade that didn't break down. They're asking $1,300 and it's already pending sale, so if you want to own a rolling art installation that may or may not double as a rain collection system, you'd better move fast. Buying a RX8 is already a gamble, but buying one that's wrapped in some questionable anime off Facebook Marketplace feels like spinning a roulette wheel while blindfolded and being surprised when it lands on red. I don't think you could pay me to drive around with a wrap like this, and it can supposedly be removed, but why would you? It's doing all the talking so you don't have to. One glance and everyone already knows exactly who this car was built by and what websites they visited. Wrap aside, it's still doing RX8 things, which means it technically starts and moves, but the seller is very clear that you'll want a trailer. They're asking $3,000, and honestly being such low mileage, with a 6-speed manual, it really would be a great project or flip car. This isn't a 2005 Nissan Altima anymore, it's an outdoor art installation that accidentally still drives. The paint looks like it was applied during a blackout with $2 Walmart spray cans, and it's been top chopped by a shop that accepts payment in Bush Light, which honestly explains everything. But the trunk is where the real masterpiece lives, because among the many hilarious bumper stickers, you've got the words "honk if stuff falls off" spray painted across it. It's listed at $1 million because comedy is priceless, but the seller said they'd accept $500 and a case of beer, which someone already took them up on that offer. If you've ever wanted to ruin a fully respectable German SUV, this is definitely one way of doing it. The anime for anyone who actually goes outside is Violet Evergarden, and if you don't know what that is, congratulations, you're still employable. This wrap isn't subtle either, it's everywhere. The hood, doors, quarters, tailgate. Honestly, I'm shocked they didn't do the roof while they were at it. And yes, it's ceramic coated, because if you're going to make something this socially radioactive, you might as well make it shiny. The inside somehow commits even harder with anime seat covers, anime headrests, and an anime trunk mat. There isn't a single neutral surface left anywhere in this vehicle. At this point, the only thing missing is the check engine light speaking Japanese. They want $15,000, which is wildly optimistic, even if they treated the car like it was their actual waifu. This is a 1989 Toyota pre-runner that's been less driven and more musically weaponized. Somewhere along the way, it stopped being a truck and became a rolling science experiment in how many decibels it takes to turn a person into a wind tunnel. Visually, it's painted like a rejected energy drink flavor from 2006 and is about what you'd expect from someone whose brain has been partially turned into mush from the speakers. The seller proudly shows it off in action too, including this video where a woman's hair is getting absolutely mauled by the bass, like she stuck her head out of a helicopter at full throttle. At $17,500, this thing should come with a waiver, ear protection, and a pamphlet explaining tinnitus. Some cars age gracefully. This Saab chose a different path and appears to be actively decomposing in a car park. You can barely see it, but the front bumper appears to be made of expanding foam, giving the whole nose the vibe of an STI, like an infection, not the Subaru. The rest of the car's not much better, with giant rust patches slowly digging their way in, but not to worry, as it apparently doesn't need much to get it running. To be fair though, they do only want $700 for it, and I'm sure one of the 3 Saab owners in America will pick it up for some extra parts. When you see bald eagles, warships, and God bless the USA down the side of a car, you expect something that's got a screaming turbo or can soot out a whole street, not something that could compete in a hairblower competition. According to the seller, the wrap was done by a dealership for advertising, because nothing sells American horsepower like a car that tops out at grocery store speeds. Somehow I'd trust whatever dealership this came from less than a Craigslist ad written entirely in caps lock. Credit where it's due though, the wrap is done well and it looks great. Considering the car's only got 26,000 miles on it, for $4,000, someone's granddad is going to be stoked to buy it. Most Beetle owners drivers are just trying to get to work without spilling their iced latte. And then there's this guy who looked at one and thought, how can I make this worse? It's listed for free with absolutely zero description, which honestly feels intentional, like they posted it out of shame or because they get off on public humiliation. We're talking way too many fake vents, including some on the doors for reasons known only to this person. A front splitter big enough to shovel snow that somehow wraps into the strangest fender extensions I've ever seen, finishing off with a massive rear diffuser, and of course a giant wing. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this body kit is made from wood that's just been painted black and prayed over. Even if it was for sale, I'd be telling everyone to stay away. I don't get why G37 owners can't just leave their cars alone or keep the insane mods to a minimum. As you can see, this one is sitting so slammed and cambered so aggressively, it should probably be a felony. The tires are probably evaporating as we speak, and every axle, CV joint, and wheel bearing is just waiting for its turn to quit. I hate to say it though, the apparently one-of-one wide body conversion actually looks tidy, especially with the wrap they put on it. They're only after $5,000, which seems like a decent price. That's if you have some factory suspension sitting around and look past the bonded title.
Give me a hell yeah!
This next one is Facebook Marketplace engineering done absolutely right. A good old stretched John Deere mower, but there's no sketchy welds holding on hopes and dreams, no duct tape load bearing beams, just a drivable picnic table ready for paddock beers. Hell, you could eat a full barbecue on this thing, spill half of it, and still be smiling. It's rocking a 22 horsepower Briggs & Stratton motor, so it's got plenty enough to tear up the lawn even without the mowing blade. My absolute favorite part though is that the headlights work, not because you need them, but because someone cared enough to wire them anyway. The seller wants $1,750, so you better get in quick to get yourself a machine that solves problems you didn't know you had. Normally when you hear modified Mitsubishi Eclipse, your brain immediately prepares for neon, fake carbon fiber, and a spoiler that could generate lift for a small aircraft. This one somehow dodges all of that. Instead, someone committed fully to the bit and built a cruisin' lightning McQueen Eclipse that actually kind of nails it. The proportions work, the paint or wrap is clean, and it looks intentional, which is already a miracle in this category. Hell, even the interior is cleaner than 99% of the Eclipses I've seen, so if you want one of the least embarrassing Eclipse builds, you're unfortunately out of luck, as this bad boy already sold for $4,500. I'm just happy we found a semi-normal Eclipse. This build has spent about 70% of its life in a shop, which honestly explains everything you're about to see. It was a 2016 Malibu that spent 7 of those years trapped in a shop only to come out looking like this. You've got all 4 Lamborghini doors, because nothing says Italian supercar energy like scissor doors bolted onto a front-wheel drive rental spec sedan. The emerald and gold is certainly a unique color combination, unique in the sense that someone actively chose it and nobody intervened. It's wearing a custom wide body kit, which is starting to explain why this thing apparently lived inside a workshop for years. And the real punchline, the whole ordeal cost $35,000, which begs the question, why would you do all of this to a Malibu of all cars? It's on air ride, of course, because nothing pairs better with Lambo doors than the ability to crouch dramatically at gas stations while everyone pretends not to stare. They're after $25,000, which is about 2.5 times their usual price, but considering it's been cooped up for so long, it's probably one of the cleaner ones.
Here's how the final tier list ended up. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, if there's anything you change around. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.